Hi, this is a general message for the Aquarius Pisces Collective. All placements, 11th and 12th house placements are welcome, okay? So I was picking up on a lot of stress, a lot of restless nights. You may be seeing a lot of nines as well. 999, things like that. A lot of things coming up to completion, and the energy that gives me a lot of anxiety with the nines is it's like you see the ending coming and you're apprehensive. I'm kind of picking up on the energy too as someone going in for like a medical procedure. And so it's like you're apprehensive leading up to it, even though you know that this has to come to pass. You know that whatever it is that you've been carrying, you want it to come to an end and to a completion, but there's a little bit of anxiety there because, I don't know, it's like, what if it gets worse, right? That's kind of the energy I'm feeling. With C Tom here, this is, I believe, the Page of Cups in reverse. So, yeah, I'm just feeling like a lack of hope is what I'm feeling with this C Tom here. We have the Eight of Fire. Look at the imagery on this. This cat is trying to make a run for it. So much anxiety, so much. You may be feeling like pacing as you're coming closer to the end of the cycle too. I heard apprehensive. Nine of Fire came out. That 9 energy. You've been through a lot. You've really gone through a lot, and you may be living in the future a lot. You may be having a hard time staying present. I don't know if this is a physical injury or a physical illness with the 9 of Fire here, but I feel like you're having a hard time staying present and staying grounded in your body right now because it just got to be so intense. This loss of hope here is tied to the intensity of the situations that have come to pass, and you may have seen certain things coming down the pipeline before they reached you. And I feel like these kitties are meeting around a conference table or a dinner table here, discussing some of the potential consequences of the choices that they're making now in the present and trying to forecast how that's going to come to pass in the future. And you may have tried to signal certain red flags, and maybe your voice went unheard. Maybe people didn't listen. And so you had to kind of disassociate for a bit at certain times and think about things that you hope in the future will come to pass instead. And you may have to kind of daydream a bit is what I'm picking up on with this card. And you may have also been reconciling a lot of memories of the past. That's a word that Spirit keeps saying today, reconciling. And in accounting, we would reconcile accounts and look for discrepancies, and we would clean up the errors, right? And make sure everything was squeaky clean. And so I think that you may be going through, in a metaphorical sense, line by line, and looking at the expenses, the energetic expenses in your life, and cleaning things up. And this is a process that Spirit is wanting for you to honor, I guess, the beauty in that. And a lot of people may look at accounting as something that's dreadful or boring, even mundane, is what Spirit's saying. I feel like there's beauty in order, and I feel like there's beauty in going back and reconciling certain things in the past and looking forward to the future while still being able to master and maintain a presence in the present is what I'm hearing. Was that a download that came through in one of the other readings? A presence in the present because it's the present. So we have 8 of Sky here. Feeling trapped. Feeling like certain fears are coming to pass. I was just sitting outside on the front porch, and to my horror and terror, when I got up to go inside, I saw that there was the biggest spider just like a foot away from me, and it was horrifically big. And I don't know, it was pretty still, so I'm telling myself that it was a deceased spider corpse, but honestly, it could have been very much alive, and I still have the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. And I was like, okay, if I took everything as a sign, because I've been picking up on psychically on spiders and webs a lot, I was like, if I were to take that as a sign, it would be that even if you come face to face with some of your biggest fears and your nightmares come to pass. This is the 8, but this is the 8 of Swords, but we're just one sword away from that anxious nightmare energy, and you may see it coming down the pipeline like I was saying, and this is leaving you feeling paralyzed. It's leaving you feeling trapped in fear. So if I were to take everything symbolic, right, and I looked at that spider on the porch, I would say even if you came face to face with some of your nightmares and fears, this isn't quite the 9 of Swords, but we have that preemptive or predictive energy here where you're able to see certain things coming, right? And it creates additional paralysis. It's like the anxiety itself freezes you and traps you in place. Even if you were to come face to face with these fears, they're not going to take you out, okay? You're going to be able to walk away from the situation, and even if you have the heebie-jeebies about how close you came to the end, it wasn't the end. We have the fire kitten. So I guess this is the page of fire. And then we have the 10 of Sea on the bottom of the deck, which is a happy family, fulfillment. I'm really drawn to the stars that are on top of both this card here and this card, and it reminds me of a picture I've seen of Disney World's Cinderella's castle. And sometimes when I'm feeling overwhelmed by life, I think about what it would be like to sit in a hot tub with a ceiling like that. It's just one of the most beautiful rooms I've ever seen. I've only seen it on like Instagram and things like that, but I like that it's showing up in the cards here. We have the 4 of Sky in reverse. I feel like a lot of people in the collective are calling in rest. They're calling in times of peace and relaxation because things have been so stressful for so long. And with this fire kitten card, I wasn't really sure at first what energy I was picking up on with this, but I think it's kind of that curiosity killed the cat energy. I feel like it's people around you that have had certain control and influence over the situation that you asked to take a look at certain things. This could even be like a manager at work that didn't listen to you over certain safety concerns, and then, you know, somebody got injured. And then it ended up not only costing this person their good health, but it cost the company a lot of time and resources to be able to address it in the long run when they could have just taken care of it to begin with, right? I split the deck and we got the Fool card in reverse, which is recklessness. And you may be having to deal with this recklessness around you. And you may be frustrated with having to kind of handle some of the consequences of other people's actions. We have the 2 of Sea here. Relationships. These are relationships that are causing some kind of blockage, either physically or materially, financially, leaving you feeling ungrounded, leaving you feeling stressed out. There's a relationship issue at hand here. We have the 9 of Earth in reverse. This is codependency. This is the third 9 that's showing up in your reading, 999. I was telling you there's a lot of 9 energy. So we have the Chariot and the 5 of Sky here that were underneath the 9. And I feel like this is a trial, is what I'm hearing, a lesson where you're being asked to master these energies with the 5 of Sky here. This cattiness, this competition, this, even if it's your own inner chatter. I feel as though you're mastering this right now. It does appear to be almost the same cat. It's like a black and white cat that's driving the chariot. I guess he's more gray. Maybe you're a little bit more gray than when you started on this journey. Maybe the stress is causing some gray hairs here. Actually, I'm going to leave those out. Spirit's saying to continue with the tarot, so what else here? What else do we need to know? Okay, so we have the Three of Earth came out, and how interesting that there is a beetle pictured here. I actually just filmed a reading a little bit ago, and there were beetles that showed up twice, and they were an indication of good fortune. And so with this Three of Earth here, it could be that your resources are taking a turn to have good fortune, that you're able to extend beyond yourself and your family into your community, right? With this Three of Earth also, I'm kind of picking up on other people are going to see the good fortune that comes your way as why did I say lack? I was going to say as an act of God, as an act of a miracle, but there's something about lack here. So other people that have lack mindsets are going to see your testimony. They're going to hear your testimony, and they're going to know it's going to add a revival of hope here. Interesting. So there is some kind of good fortune coming your way. It could be somebody winning the jackpot on a slot machine. It could be, even if it's just a couple $100s, that's still something. That's still an amazing Christmas. You know what I mean? And so I feel like if there is some kind of blessing that's coming your way, you're meant to kind of share it in some way, even if it's just a testimony. There's something here about sharing it with your community and having others benefit from it as well. We have the Two of Fire, something about a decision. Discernment. That's what Spirit said. What is it about this Two of Fire here? I heard fall from grace. We have Eight of Fire. Again, that cat is trying to run here. Ooh, it's the same cat here. Oh, and I put the deck over, and here he is again, this orange cat. So we have the Eight of Fire, the Two of Fire, and the Three of Earth. This orange cat is showing up, trying to run, and then kind of like considering certain choices, seeing the blessing and testimony. You could be the one that's inspired too by hearing somebody else's story. May cause you to go back and reconsider certain things and wonder if certain possibilities could have turned out differently. And there was one thing that I learned today in the readings was, your opportunities and the things that are meant for you are not going to pass you by. The things that are meant to come out are going to come out again and again. There's going to be synchronicities that come out. Whether you acknowledge it, whether you see it the first time or not, it's going to come around again. And with this Five of Fire, I feel like there are certain energies around you that want you to think that a lot of your best days have passed you by, that a lot of your opportunities have surpassed you. But this is just fear. It's not real. And I think that's part of the message today. And we can't necessarily go back in time and redo our choices. But another thing that I've learned is that our choices are not random either. They're a part of the process. And so there's nothing that happens by mistake, truly. Nine of Earth. As long as we're willing to learn from it. I heard disassociate again. I think that there is a process, a beauty in the disassociation process that you've been in. And if you kind of consider, there's this energy here with this cat where she's in a garden, she's pulling away from the day-to-day and the hustle and bustle of, the 9 to 5, where everybody around her is so focused on competition and winning and numbers and getting ahead, and she's able to reconnect with herself or himself, take it how it applies. But this is a period of healing where if you've ever gone through like a hospitalization, gone through a period of being really sick and you can't do the things that you normally do, and suddenly you find this time and this quiet that you're not quite used to, and it can be uncomfortable. And maybe that's where this pacing energy is coming in. You don't quite know what to do with yourself while you're in this process of healing. And I guess that's why the Four of Swords had come out in reverse, was because you're not able to rest. You're not able to heal fully. Especially if it is just on a mental note where you feel guilty for resting, or you I'm feeling very much so like you're just not used to it, and it's going to take some getting used to, but also you have to give yourself that permission, that mental permission, that it's okay to just be. It's okay to just simply exist. And even if your fears come close, they're not going to dismantle you. They're not going to take you out the world, because there is this story that's meant to be told. The story is not over yet. And I feel like with this cat looking out the window, it's like I'm an indoor cat, right? I have these dreams, I have these ambitions, and I try to picture what it's like to go out there and to actually live my life. What would I do if I had that opportunity? Where would I go? What would that feel like to have plans for the day? It's a strange energy that you can only really understand a few times in life, hopefully. Like maternity leave is a good example. You're used to having a certain routine, and you went through an incredible journey where your body is now having to physically recover from that, right? And you're also taking this time to connect with a new family member. But it's a whole new life. It's a whole new process, a whole new routine that you're having to adjust to. I think Spirit is preparing us for a new chapter that's going to come in, that's going to feel very different from everything that we've known, even right now. And so to honor the temporariness of Ten of Sky, and it's in reverse. I'm feeling like Spirit's wanting us to know that this pain isn't going to last forever. I heard pain is gain, and so I think that this is going to contribute to the longevity and the contribution to something in the long term. We have the Earth King here. This could be your health even. If you're feeling sick and you're feeling injured right now, it could be a wake-up call. Because when this card was just up, I don't know if you guys could see it, but the light flickered ever so slightly, and I was focused on this lightning bolt. I feel like this is kind of a wake-up call where you're able to take better care of your physical vessel or your finances, depending on how it applies. But I just heard sitting pretty, and so I feel like this is going to leave you sitting pretty for the long term. Okay. Yeah, we got consequences under that, and it's in reverse. Avoiding consequences in the long term. You're going to be really happy in the long term that certain things happened to redirect you into avoiding consequences that could have been even more devastating. And so coming face to face with some of your fears, I feel like it's meant to happen, kind of so that you have a tale. You live to tell the tale type of thing, to be able to breathe hope into other people and their situations. Okay, so I want to see if there's any other messages before we close out. Any other message we need to know today? Any other messages for us today? Thank you. Oops. Okay, so we have breakthroughs. Having mystical and Satori experiences, allowing your magic to create in life and true self begins to emerge. And she's wearing a yellow dress. And earlier today, I have just been noticing people wearing yellow. Whenever people are wearing yellow today, it's speaking a spiritual message to me. So that could be something too about when you see people wearing yellow, pay attention to what they're saying. They may have information to offer you, because we have the Arcturian energy here. It says gifted at divination and channeling, a leader in communities and workplaces, and you're here to advance and innovate. Okay, so there may be some kind of innovative information from people wearing yellow. Pay attention. Yeah, because we had that orange yellow cat too. Something about solar and sacral energies has been haunting me lately. So very important energies that the collective is working on. We have teenage soul, exercising free will in life, lessons, exploring, expressing, liberty. Traits are ego, ambitious, and innovative. I feel, and there's that word innovative again. And so this is talking about not being afraid to kind of pave your own way, walk on the rebellious side, kind of do things a little bit differently with that codependent energy of the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you're going to really feel a lot more stable, secure, and healthy, right? If you're able to do things your own way. But it says ambitious, innovative, liberty, free will in life. It's better to have taken that chance than to always look back and wonder what could have happened. And that could be kind of that disassociating energy I'm picking up on too, where you're having a hard time staying in the present because you're second guessing mistakes that you feel like you made in the past. And Spirit wants to lay those to rest and let you know that you're exactly where you're meant to be right now. There is no such thing as mistakes. You could be in trying to go back and redo certain steps. You could be undoing synchronicities and miracles that Spirit is bringing into your life simultaneously. Okay, so that's something that they're wanting us to know. And we also have authentic living. It says being true to yourself is important. Inspire others to live authentically, and you value honesty and openness. We also have here level 7 consciousness. You're beginning to live from Spirit. You know how to heal others' pain. You connect with others emotionally. You could be a life past 7 as well. And then we have lucky star here. So there is good luck and fortune coming in for us. It says born with good luck. Things come naturally and effortlessly and more likely to get lucky in life. And I'm hearing that song by Britney Spears, Lucky. And whenever I hear that song, because she says, she's so lucky, she's a star. And it always reminds me of Aquarius. And so I wasn't really sure which platform I was going to post this on, but I think I might put it on the Aquafish channel, because when I hear that song where she's like, she's a star, I always think of Aquarius. I think of Aquarius energy. And the thing about Aquarius is it can stand for healing. It can stand for being a light bringer, being a spiritual teacher, having that ability to share that spiritual wisdom, that knowledge with the collective. It's also an indication of being the healing light through great turmoil, from having experienced and gone through great initiation, right? You're not ever able to get to that point of the star, the number 17, without first going through the tower moments of the number 16, right? And so I feel like, and especially if you look at just the story of Britney Spears, even, she's been so heavy in my channelings lately, I think because she was one of the first, artists that I looked up to growing up. When I was growing up, she was like the queen of pop. And if you just take a look at her story and you see that not everything is as wonderful as we sometimes like to make it out to be, that there's certain crosses that we could never bear that others have been asked to carry, and being able to follow in their footsteps and to have that new hope breathed into our circumstance. And it can kind of put into perspective for us sometimes where we are lucky in our own lives and where it is that we're fortunate to be able to recall how certain circumstances turned out to be okay in the end. All right, so look, bottom of the deck energy, we have victory. And there's that pawn that was channeling earlier too, so maybe I'll connect those readings. It says victory will be yours, your enemies will be defeated. Keep going and you'll have your win. I split the deck. It says burning karma in reverse, and it says burning off past bad karma. Step towards soul freedom, advance towards your true potential. And so I really think that all of this is working towards your betterment, towards your victory, even if you're not always able to see it right away. Okay. Spirit told me to pull from this deck before we go. This little pinup boss babe. So closing out, any closing information for us today? Oh, goodness. Okay. So we have stressed. Okay, very interesting. We have zombie mode. We have fine like a glass of wine. And we have who needs a man. I feel like if some of you are stressed out right now, Spirit is saying be mindful of coping with certain methods that may be counterproductive towards your healing journey. Okay. Certain ghosts are going to come up and cause you anxiety, certain memories from the past, and they're not meant to be numbed. They're not meant to be forgotten. They're meant to be reconciled, right? There's that word again, reconciled. And so I feel like Spirit is trying to remind you that you're more capable than you're giving yourself credit for when certain energies arise. Again, with that fear, like when I saw that spider, I was like, I can't believe I was sitting so close to this ginormous spider. It was one that had a really big, fat, round butt and all of these scary patterns on it. And I don't know. I just can't believe I was sitting that close to it. But yeah, I feel like even if you're worried about your fears coming to life, it's not being productive to your physical health and your healing. And so Spirit really wants to bring that to our attention right now. We have decisions here. It's about decisions. What about decisions? What about decisions? Okay. We have angelic and what no longer serves me. So focus on what the angels are trying to bring in and not going behind and trying to clean up mistakes or second guess certain decisions that we've made. If you've made that decision, it was as it was meant to be. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Okay, and the angels are already making sure that what is meant for you is not passing you by. So you can go ahead and lay some of those fears to rest, okay? Yes. Bottom of the deck, go ahead and lay those fears to rest. They're not serving you.